Welcome back, viewers. This is X with another challenge from Challenge Accepted. Now, this week was a Lego contest. Now, if you checked out my main channel, you know that I'm huge on Lego, so I went all out with this challenge. So, with that said, let's go ahead and start. This is the Minecorp Imperium Mine. I've got 4 main assets, but overall, basically, this is an arsenal of things used to harvest the unique stuff that makes Minecorp's X. So, let's go ahead and start with my personal favorite, which is the jumper. This is a type of Minecorp vehicle that uses, what do you call it? It's kind of like propulsion technique to get it to fly. We can go ahead and just clear everything out, and we'll visit each thing individually. So, here we got the jumper. This is using propulsion technology, so we'll go ahead and get a look at the framework of this vehicle. It can be easily grabbed by a human right here. You kind of get the idea. This is like a giant mech suit. Though it's not humanoid, it's still built, as basically a battle machine. So, you kind of got an idea of that. You can go ahead and take a look at the back. Kind of see those 2 mounted brick stud shooters. Yeah, so anyway, you saw that. But obviously this thing couldn't fit a minifigure. I took great pride in my design because this is how it's done. And there we can access the figure inside. This is here we got Minecorp's X in his elite suit. And I just love the design. You probably noticed all the hinges in the mold. Or like, see how these wings are on hinges. But yeah, so basically that, and the canopy has the mounted guns and hydraulics and all that cool stuff. So, the figure is also on a hinge, so he can kind of dock out. Like when this thing is landed, he can get out easily. So yeah, it's that. And one more thing on a hinge, it's these brick stud shooters. These can be easily tucked in when they're not in use. Like when we're not doing a battle and the wings surround them, enclosing them, and they are in complete concealed mode. So yeah, that's it for the jumper suit. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the mine. This is probably the most... This probably spells the biggest mock of the series, It's more based off not technically legal Lego designs. Actually, a funny story with the brown base plate, I accidentally broke it. I guess I stepped on it or something, and it cracked, and I thought that just looked like really cool natural terrain using a cracked piece. So yeah, you can see there's some cabling going down, some really intricate detail which we'll take a look at in a moment, but first you'll notice it probably wobbled when I moved it. These are mine carts, and these hold these rare yellow ore, which we'll take a look at in a second and probably explain. But yeah, so I built these little hover mine carts. You can see I've got 2 of them, one's being constructed, the other being completely finished. That uses these rounded pads to, glide, kind of get the float illusion, kind of like that. So yeah, you can kind of see the design of this, and then we've got the Minecorp intelligence system integrated into the cart, and you can see it rests on these 2 hover pads. The ore comes to be harvested by this grabber claw, which is on a whole bunch of rotating pivots, more pivots, then these grabber claws that can actually move. This thing can collect the ore from the carts and put it into its proper container. Now, removing that, you can get a better look at deeper down in here. If we can kind of get some light in here, you can see I used some pieces to make tubing to have really thick cables running through. Like this is kind of like a battleground, using the ravine created from the altered Lego piece. Around the back, I've got a ladder, so this can be accessed. Then the back of the crane. Now, the main attraction, the defense turret. This uses superior technology, using these ancient Lego projectiles, which are actually Lego brand, and basically just being an all-around defense unit. So it's heat-seeking. It's got a tube connected from the base to the actual gun to preload instructions, and it even has a snap action. It's on a bunch of ball joints so it can get all the mobility or articulation it needs. And it's even got a snap action battle feature where you pull this up and it's locked and loaded and completely mobile and ready to attack. And then when it's dormant, it seals back into place. So yeah, all out warfare there. See, the rest of the build of this is on like a brick base, maybe some city ruins or something like that. So that about wraps up this joint of the showcase. So, one last thing before we wrap this up, and that is the, not sure what to call this, I suppose we can call it the Imperium Analyzer. This is basically a mine, but it uses like technically energy to analyze the quality of the jewels and harvest its potential material. We've got a really cool looking generator here. It's super dangerous, super powerful. We've got rotating cores. We've got a little bit of a control panel here with a giant, like a giant flip lever, you know, get some really manual action there to punching commands. We got a little ventilation system. We got some more tubes and technology, and then we do have the raw Imperium, which is harvested in this secure containment cell. But before we begin, Imperium is the material, it's the energy behind it all. Minecorp stuff, really what makes it more than just a bunch of metal and gears. So, inside, you guys ready for this? We have the official raw Imperium. Now this has to be kept at an extremely high heat, as you can tell by the heat vents in there, the furnace, to keep this. These are actual rocks, but we're gonna go ahead and pretend that they're super rare Minecorp Imperium. So, now that you saw that, it's time to wrap up this episode from Challenge Accepted. This is X. Thanks for watching. Be sure to stay connected for more epic challenges. And I'll see you in the next adventure. One last thing before we wrap up. I did create a custom Minecorp spider drone. It's got those little legs, it's got a mounted turret, a laser, so thought that was cool. You know, add to the arsenal of super cool things we got on the desk. But yeah, now we're really done. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the channel, as well as the rest of the videos from the other challengers. I'll see you next time.